This is the XT12 HR Off Grid Extreme. It is a trailer that MDC USA brought out for 2025. We now have one at Princess Craft RV, so we can finally look it over and talk about it. The big ticket item is they have gone all in with RENOGY for solar all the way through, battery management and charging and inversion, the inverter. And really, you're gonna want to see this because it makes your life so capable and easy when it comes to your off-grid, off-road exploration. We want you to get there safely, we want you to get back safely, and we want you comfortable in between. Let's see how MDC USA and RENOGY make that possible on their off-grid Extreme. We're now inside the XT12 HR Off Grid Extreme. Again, the Off Grid Extreme package is a really cool thing that they're doing in 2025 for the North American market, working specifically, exclusively with RENOGY to supply the power system from the top down. That means 350 watts of solar mounted on top from RENOGY, and the equipment I'm going to show you today is all RENOGY. It's all the same family, all the same ecosystem. It talks together beautifully, and we're going to get our eyes on those things. But for a couples camper, this is super capable. I think it's a very viable, very interesting option. You really should check it out. But let's get started on the RENOGY. I'm going to start down here where a lot of the equipment is housed. I'm down here. This is one of the seats of the dinette typically, but I've removed the cushions. So underneath this hatch is where a lot of that RENOGY equipment is housed. I'm going to lift this up. You should not have to be in here very often, if ever, but let's go through what I can see, what you can see right here. This big box right here is fantastic. I want to think that about most of this because it's really cool equipment, but this is the RENOGY 3000 watt REGO inverter system. Powerful, smart, optimized for whatever type of battery you're running, but this trailer comes with lithium-ion, a RENOGY lithium-ion, so it's set for that. Now, you don't want to reach in here very often. Obviously, take the cushions, lift this. You don't want to have to reach in here to turn this on and off, so they have a remote switch right on this front fascia here, so you'll never have to get in here to on-off that piece of equipment. 3,000 watts, pure sine wave power, running to what? Well, all of your outlets, all of your residential style outlets throughout the cabin, and maybe most importantly, that air conditioner. You have 400 amp hours in that REGO battery. Now that's tucked away in a cabinet under there, but 400 amp hours running through a 3,000 watt inverter is a lot of power. You can use your air conditioner confidently, and the battery protects itself from the cold. Traditionally, or older style lithium-ion batteries had a problem charging back up in freezing temperatures. This has sensors in it and a warming mechanism that makes sure it's protected and it can be recharged even in cold situations. Really cool. Thank you, RENOGY. Let's see what else is back here. If I go further back into the corner back here, I see a RENOGY system. Now, this is your MPPT solar charger, but don't let that name fool you. It's not just a solar charger. It is smartly making sure that it's managing the power coming in from the solar panels, whether they be the ones that are already mounted on the roof, or if you add more external panels to the side, which this trailer is ready to go for, it will make sure that it is protecting your battery and charging it just as fast as it can. But this 50 amp MPPT charger from RENOGY can do more. It also is a DC to DC charger, which is one of my personal favorite pieces of equipment I've ever put on one of my trailers. What does it do? So most trailers will charge off of the little 7-pin connector. Fantastic, it's worked a long time, but it's a pretty small wire, so it can only handle so much power running through it. What the DC to DC charger system does is it allows you to get much more power coming through a thicker cable straight off of the alternator in your tow vehicle, and it charges your battery faster. More power coming through a bigger cable directly off of the source is fantastic. But you want to do it smartly, and RENOGY make sure with that DC to DC charger and make sure that it's doing it in a controlled, fast but controlled way to protect your equipment and your battery. It also manages how you're bringing in power to charge that battery safely off of shore power. So it does kind of all three. Really good piece of equipment. If I go over a little bit further, you're going to find a really large master battery cutoff switch. You probably won't need to reach in here for this one terribly often. I like knowing that it's there, but there is another one right above me up here. You'll see it in just a moment. I like redundancy. I like that it's very easily laid out, very understandable in here. If you ever needed to be in here to see things, to work on things, a little bit of maintenance or whatever, or just because you're curious and you want to learn stuff, they make it super simple. So there's venting on the front of this to make sure that the equipment breathes. It could get a little bit warm as it's operating. There's venting here because there's equipment back underneath the sleeping area, and further back is that really cool RENOGY REGO battery. That all aside, let's go up top over here and see how we will just get our eyes on everything that's going on with the RENOGY system and maybe have some control over it. So here we go. We're at this cabinet up above, and we're going to find a lot going on in here. So let's try not to get caught up in the weeds a little bit, because I love the layout here. They have lots of switches and resettable fuses, but that's not what this video is about. Let's talk about this piece of equipment right here. This is the RENOGY One Core system. It gives you a quick visual and some control over your RENOGY power equipment. But you're not going to see a thing unless this RENOGY screen switch is switched to the on position. That powers up the screen. You're going to find that all these switches and all that allow you to control what gets power, what doesn't, so you can conserve your battery. Let's go to the RENOGY One Core screen. This is the home screen, and you're going to see right away it tells you a lot of valuable information that you'll want at a glance. The percentage of charge that your battery is currently at. Again, we're on a 400 amp hour REGO battery, so 86% is really good. We are currently bringing in more power from our solar panels above than we are consuming. The things that are using power in this trailer right now is we have every single light on the interior of this trailer on right now. And the screen uses a little bit of power, and the inverter uses maybe a little bit of power. So there are things on in this trailer, but those solar panels are still bringing in, I would say, a good amount more power than we're using. So what does that show us? That up arrow next to the current designation on here says that we are currently bringing in 6.7 amps more power than we are using currently. And if we keep that number, as long as clouds don't go over those solar panels and the sun is very direct, then we'll be at full charge in 8 hours. That number will fluctuate up and down as the sun moves across the sky and as the cloud cover changes. You may see that you are pulling more off than you're charging. That's fine. 400 amp hours will last you for quite a while. Now let's go to these two things. If you want to click in for more information on your equipment, most things are clickable. I'm going to click right here on inverter charger. It'll tell me if I'm getting power into the trailer from shore power, which I am not right now, or from solar panel, which is all I'm getting power from right now. And I can scroll up and down until and just get so much more granular information. So if you would like to geek out, RENOGY is there for you. I'm going to show you what's in this little area here with the menu, because this might be useful to you if you don't click it too many times. Right here, this setting is super handy, the charge amps setting. So let's go ahead and have a little word about charge amps real quick. If you're plugged into shore power, you know, it may be at your home site, you have a 30 amp plug, or maybe you're using an adapter or what have you. The RENOGY system can fast charge a battery really, really fast. That means it's pulling a lot of power off of that outlet. and you may find that it's causing problems with other connected devices. Let's say you're connected to a shed or to a garage or a shop or something like that, and you start flipping breakers once you plug in your trailer. It might be because your RENOGY system, being so capable, is set at charge amps to a high value. Maybe you don't have to charge that fast. Maybe you can charge at a slightly reduced speed and keep from flipping breakers. So you can go in right there on that panel, and there's a little arrow beside charge amps, and you can push that and you can set a value significantly lower or up to a pretty high number. I believe you can charge at around 100 amps or all the way down to about 5 amps. That's a lot of range to change there. Do check the manual for the specific numbers, but the power to control how fast you charge, how much draw this camper is pulling, really can save you a lot of time, trouble, and headache. And they thought of making it available to you. Very smart. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to the battery setting. And again, this has one battery. If you had multiple batteries from RENOGY in here, you could see multiple batteries in the screen. And again, you can see exactly what's going on. The various cells within the battery, what each cell charge is currently at. And for some reason, you could even change the name of the battery. So you could call one Cynthia. You could call one Charlie. Apparently I'm running with C names. I don't know. Maybe it's Cindy. Doesn't matter. You could change the name of your equipment, your inverter, your controllers, your batteries, what have you. But there are so many pieces of information in here. It's a seriously powerful system, and it doesn't have to be all controlled here at the one core panel. No, they thought of how you might be able to control this without ever opening this cabinet, or maybe outside. Very simple. On your phone, they have an app for you that looks almost exactly like that and can tell you the exact same information. It's connected by Bluetooth. So download that RENOGY app, connect it to your equipment, and have some peace of mind when you're out and about. That's really about it. RENOGY has put this all together in a very tight, understandable, very powerful package. So let's wrap this up. The XT12 HR from MDC. Now again, this is the Off Grid Extreme version. It is new for 2025. Their partnership with RENOGY is very exciting to, I guess, me and maybe you. I really like both the companies working together to make sure that you can travel confidently, you can explore confidently, you can return home with power still in your system. So you have the power to go way out there, to stay unplugged, to recharge, to run that air conditioner, your refrigerator, and things that you need to be not only safe, but also comfortable. You have the support of RENOGY because it's top to bottom, all in the same family. And you know that the bones are good on the trailer because it's MDC USA. So this is it, the XT12 HR Off Grid Extreme. And if you are couple camping, solo camping, and going way out there, do so confidently. It's been a pleasure showing it to you. We have them at Princess Craft. Check them out. We'll see you next time.